baby. What's up, guys? It is Ace Star the Third, and thank you so much for watching. And today I'm going to bring you guys this awesome overused battle that against one of my friends, KevinKingdra. And this battle is epic because it is epic. So KevinKingdra is a pretty awesome guy. He is like the Picasso of graphic art on YouTube. He makes backgrounds and stuff. He's a pretty cool guy. This was his first third generation battle, and I have to admit, that was it was a pretty cool and awesome battle, and especially for the first time, that was great. So I hope you guys can check out his channel because he does some awesome uploads and other things. So today we're going to start out with that question. Today that question is, what is your favorite tier to battle in Game of the Generation? Because in third generation I like to do overused and Ubers and Little Cup, and in fifth generation I like to do NU because NU is amazing and Ubers too. But I mean, it's just amazing. So please answer that question in the comments below. So anyway, if you look at my team, we're gonna go through this pretty quickly. It is mainly based around Tyranitar. However, Tyranitar is more of a late game sweeper, and I do add emphasis to that because I will come in as late as I possibly can without it being dangerous, and then I will proceed to sweep the opponent's team because a lot of people are unprepared for it as time goes on once all their threats and everything disappear, and everything else is really there for support. Jirachi and Forretress for setting up spikes and everything. Unfortunately, it seems like the only self-destructor or exploder I have is Forretress, so if they had a Suicune, I could have been screwed, but I mean, outside of that, it's all good. So I hope you guys enjoy this battle. It's going to be pretty awesome, and let's go. So unfortunately, the world might end on Friday, and I just want to say to you guys that I really do appreciate everything you've done for me. Like, this is one of my most favorite things I do. I really just love this narrating thing so much, and you guys have been so supportive and everything, and I really do just love it. So thank you guys so much. So anyway, he lives up with his Jirachi. I live with my Porygon 2. Immediately I go for a Thunder Wave because I want to cripple this thing. It's kind of an issue because it's Jirachi, and everything about it is just terrible. So he goes for a Calm Mind, and at this point I go for a Thunderbolt. I'm like, oh no, I can't really stay in here and do much of anything because I don't want to get set up upon, and I really can't do anything. So I switch out at this point into my Dugtrio, predicting him to go for another Calm Mind or a good pair of hacks. Unfortunately, he goes for a Thunderbolt. I'm not affected by it, and at this point I can go for a Choice Banded, Stab Earthquake, and he's gonna die because there's nothing that he can do. He can't switch out because he has Arena. I have Arena Trap. Unfortunately, even though Jirachi's floating, it just doesn't work that way in third gen or anywhere. It just doesn't make sense. But okay, so he goes out into his Kingdra at this point, which is pretty funny because it's KevinKingdra. And at this point, I would go back into my Porygon 2 so I can go for a Thunder Wave on it. I don't know why he stayed in. I don't think that was pretty logical. He probably thought he might be able to kill me, but this is a more defensive variant of Porygon 2 because Porygon 2's defensively can stop a lot of popular things in third generation, like Salamence and Gyarados and Aerodactyl. A lot of things are stopped by this thing. So anyway, I go out into my Quetzal, my Dragonite, and at this point, I tried to see whether or not he had Ice Beam, and I wanted him to go for it just so I could go back into Jirachi and then take it and then be able to take him out or set up on him with Calm Mind. So anyway, he goes out into his Skarmory, which kind of sucks for him because I get to go for a Thunderbolt. It doesn't take him out because I'm not stabbed and everything, so it kind of sucks, but it kind of doesn't. So I predicted him to switch out at this point. I do go for a Psychic, I do believe, in as he brings in his Blissey. It kind of sucks because Blissey is terrible, and now he has Skarm Bliss, which reveals that this must be his first time because all people know that Skarm Bliss is just terrible in third gen, and he should never do it because it's just the worst thing he could possibly ever do. So anyway, yeah, he can't really do much to me right now. I mean, if he goes for a Seismic Toss, he will take me down to like 4 HP. I will be able to get off a Recover though, which I'm gonna do right now. And because I trace his Natural Cure, the paralyzation is gonna go away, which is kind of good and kind of bad because I could get Toxic later on, and I might not be able to trace the Natural Cure again. But you know, getting the paralyzation off in the first place would be awesome. So he sets up some spikes. At this point, I get pair of hacks. I was gonna go for a Thunderbolt and take him out, and it kind of mattered, but it kind of didn't because it's whatever. So he got up one layer, and at this point, I just try to go for another Thunderbolt. At this point, he goes back out into his Kingdra. I'm kind of like, okay, so he set up these spikes, and I really got to bring in my my Forretress because I need to rapid spin them away. But I really can't do that yet because I don't want him to have something like a Gengar or be able to take out Forretress because I might need it later on to wall something that he might have in his team. So anyway, he goes out into his Raikou after predicting me to go for a Thunderbolt with Porygon 2, and it kind of sucks because I mean, at this point, I'm like, oh no, if this thing starts to set up some Calm Minds, there's absolutely nothing I can do because nothing on my team can do much of anything about it. I mean, because everything would be taken out by just stab thunderbolts and hidden power ices, and oh god, it'd just be terrible. So fortunately enough, I do predict him to go for a substitute and take out that substitute again. At this point, I predicted him to go for a Calm Mind, knowing that if he was able to go for at least one, that he will be able to go for substitutes and it would not break and he'd be able to set up on me. But I am like, no, I'm not stupid, so I go into You Cannot Escape, go for his Choice Banded, stab, Thunderbolt, Earthquake, oh my gosh, take it out, and now Raikou is just gone, and I'm like, ugh! So yeah, that was a huge threat that has now disappeared, and now I will be able to go into my other Pokemon more safely and start to set up accordingly. So he goes out into his Houndoom. I don't know how he predicted my switch into Forretress, or he might not have, but it was pretty awesome for him. I was thinking I could go into Windows 8 and then trace Flash Fire, but he has Early Bird, and I'm like, that's also cool, but I mean, this thing is awesome because it has Flash Fire. I mean, that's why people use Houndoom, you know, so they can go for stab, Flash Fire, boost Fire Blasts on everything, kill everything because it's flame and fire, flame. At this point, I misclick right here. I was meaning to go for a hidden, a Dragon Dance at this point because it would have been more logical. I accidentally go for Hidden Power. Flying does a lot of damage. I wasn't trying to take it out, but I guess in a sense that was a really good turn because eventually, I mean, that little small sliver of damage, I mean, you know, he might be able to be taken out with spikes and everything. So I go for a Brick Break at this point. I was thinking I could do a lot of damage to him, but I guess not because I guess this is an extremely defensive Skarmory. I mean, I was thinking because earlier, because of the fact that he lived my Thunderbolt, that he might have been a little bit special defensive, but it seems like he's not. And then he goes for a rest as I bring in my brought in my Dugtrio, and I'm kind of like, okay, so who I want to know, I would like to know at this point, why would you have the rest on the Skarmory? That makes no sense. And I'm like, okay, so I go into my Fortress thinking I can set up some spikes and then go for Wrath Spins and everything, get rid of all those entry hazards, which is pretty awesome because I was able to do that. And at this point, I was just gonna YOLO it. I don't like saying that, and but I mean, literally, Fortress is gonna YOLO it right here, try to set up as much spikes as he can. And once his health goes down to a small amount, where I know that I won't be able to take another Hydro Pump, I will now go for an Explosion. Take it out, take out everything, hopefully, I don't know, but Kingdra, it could be defensive, just boom! Nope, not gonna do it, you know, so it's gonna take it out. It's gonna be pretty awesome for me because now that thing's gone, it's kind of like, okay, because it wasn't gonna do much anyway, due to the fact that it was paralyzed, but it's whatever. So, at this point, I don't know why I did that. I think that was the most stupidest play of this battle. I go out into my Dragonite for absolutely no reason. I mean, it really made no sense for me to do that. I mean, so I switch back out into my Jirachi, take some unnecessary damage from Drill Peck, and at this point I predicted his switch back out into Blissey, which he does do, and I'm like, yeah, he can't do anything now because he has Seismic Toss and Thunder Wave and everything. So I go for an Earthquake, does a lot of damage, not gonna take him out because Blissey's are physically defensive, which I really hate, but it's whatever. He goes for an Ice Beam, which was a surprise to me, but it doesn't matter really because I don't really need Dugtrio anymore. And at this point, I finally bring in my Tyranitar, and as you saw earlier when I said that this thing comes in later once threats are gone, and a lot of the threats on his team are now gone. I mean, and now I can start to set up some Dragon Dances and everything onto his Pokemon, predicting him to not do anything, and knowing that this thing can absolutely destroy everything after it gets up a couple of Dragon Dances. Oh my gosh, yes! So anyway, I do start to do that. Unfortunately, he seems to have Protect and Wish, and I totally forgot that this thing had Wish, but he is a 5th generation player, and he was thinking that Wish had the same mechanics in 5th generation, being able to restore half the Pokemon who's using it HP and then everything, but no, it doesn't work that way in 3rd gen. It's just half, which is kind of helpful, kind of hurtful for some Pokemon. Like, I mean, the evolutions, it hurts them because, I mean, now they can't really be that much, better and everything. But yeah, so anyway, he goes for, I don't know, an Ice Beam and everything. He's not going to do much of anything. I'm just going for taunts, knowing that he can't do anything to me. I mean, nothing he can possibly do at this point. And I'm just trying to set up as many Dragon Dances as I possibly can so that I can come in. Once his Skarmory comes in, I'll be able to take it out with consecutive Rock Slide. So it's pretty awesome because he brings on this Houndoom. He's like, oh my god, I'm gonna do something about this because I'm Houndoom. And nope, you're not. So I just go for an Earthquake, take that shit out because it just needs to go. I mean, and it's kind of awesome because now he has the Skarmory and it's Blissey, and now his Bliss counter is this little thing he has right now. This core isn't really a core anymore because I'm so strong physically, and it's just awesome. So he goes for a Whirlwind, and I go for a taunt because I'm not gonna take any of that shit. I'm not gonna take any risks on this point because I don't want to go take this battle, take 1,000. No. So anyway, I go for another Dragon Dance, trying to get as many as I can up. I want this thing to at least be able to get 2 hit KO'd. I know this thing has max defense, and I know that even after a couple of Dragon Dances with my adamant, Tyranitar, he won't be able to take it out, you know, or do that much damage, you know, even after like 1. So I have to, you know, utilize as many as I can. So I get to go for a Rock Slide. Fortunately enough, I hit, and fortunately enough, this one does not hit, and he gets to go for a Drill Peck. And if he would have like went for Whirlwind at that point, because I think his taunt turns ran out, that would have been so just terrible for me, because he would have had his little core here. I could come back in, but I mean, it would suck because he, you know, I don't want to go through all that process again. But fortunately enough, he just went for a Drill Peck, and at this point I take him out with a Rock Slide, and now he brings in his last Pokemon, his Blissey. Blissey isn't playing any games. He thinks he can take my Rock Slide, and I'm like, hell no, bitch, you don't know who I am. I'm Tyranitar. I'm a fucking gigantic Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm gonna come up, just earthquake, and just, oh gosh, do so much damage. Take him out with a critical hit. Doesn't really matter too much, I guess. I mean, he could have went for OMG, I don't know, Thunder Wave or something, or Ice Beam, Aromatherapy. I don't know. He would have been able to do so many things. So anyway, yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed that battle. I was a little bit more professional. I really don't do that, but a lot of people seem to not like my videos for some reason. Like, if you go on Pokemon Pit, and I think this is the most funniest thing. If you go on Pokemon Pit and you look at everyone else's uploads, they have like minimum 20 something dislikes, okay? My video had 57, and I'm like, there's like no constructed criticism. What's going on here? So I'm like, okay, so something's evidently wrong with my narrations. I don't know if it's because a lot of these people don't like to have these non-cliche narrators, and I'm going to say that. I mean, because a lot of the narrators are really cliche, not even kidding. I mean, what's different between people? I mean, you know, the fact that I upload 3rd generation and not, you know, probably because I'm black, but it's whatever. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle, watching the Super Smash Bros. And everything. Be sure to like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, comment if you're cool, subscribe if you haven't, favorite if you're a Forretress, and share if you have the balls. YouTube partnership has been going really good for me. I've made about $8 so far, ooh, and it's been pretty awesome. And school is about to end because my last final is tomorrow. My math final and my other final, my video game design final and my English final is going to be pretty awesome because I know those classes I pwned. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and everything. Be sure to go check out KevinKingdra's channel because he's pretty awesome and everything. And I hope the world does not end. And if it does, I really do love you guys. You made this so passionate and wonderful for me. And oh my gosh, so oh my god, I really hope it doesn't end. So bye guys. In case the world ends, God bless. If you go to heaven, I hope to see you there. We can play Pokemon, but I'm still gonna pwn you and everything because I may start the 3rd. So be a star and goodbye.